What up, Dokkanners? We have maintenance coming up later on tonight. So in today's video, this is your friendly reminder to be aware of when the maintenance is going to be starting. This is your friendly reminder to burn up your stamina and Dokkan responsibly. And of course, we will be discussing what we can expect to come out of this maintenance period. Let's start with the when. Maintenance is going to be starting April 8th, which is today, at 2000 hours, and it's going to be going on for 7 hours. No, I don't know how to do math. 5 hours and 15 minutes. So this is happening at 2000 hours. So for me, that's 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That is 3 hours after Global's daily reset. So if you boot up your games, look in your device, and you go to the other section right here, server maintenance, it'll show you whatever time it is for you. Subtract 3 hours. That is your daily reset. So for 3 hours, you have plenty of time to burn up your stamina by doing all of your daily missions and then doing any number of other things. I always like to stress this because you never know, there could always be something unexpected that takes place. Considering the nature of full synchro and how unpredictable it has been, you never know what sort of extra updates they might be dropping for things that they haven't yet teased, but they want to integrate. Maybe there's some problems, it's unoptimized. You never know what sort of problems could come up. If I were to be frank, I would expect there would be more likelihood for screw-ups now than ever before. So it is highly recommended that you burn up your stamina, do everything that you can in the interim, so that you are most prepared for the game to be idle for as long as possible. That way, your game is still working for you as the game is not functioning, right? You are sitting there not being able to play, but when you come back, you're gonna have basically free action to do whatever you want. So do all your daily missions, do 31-4, do the B-Pan event. A B-Pan event is a great way to burn stamina really, really quick. If you guys have enough power level where you have multiple runs on each, you can burn 360 stamina in the span of like 5 minutes. It's crazy. So this right here is a very, very good option. I actually use this from time to time when I am like super swamped and not able to play the game and I have to, you know, burn up stamina before maintenance. I'll do this and it's effective. It helps. So then you could also do things like the Big Bucks Hercules challenge. It takes you like a minute to do one. No, it takes you like 30 seconds to do one run. You can earn a bunch of Zenny, do that a million times. You do your Orb event, do your Turtle School Roshi event, do whatever events that are available up at the top here. The growth tab is the #1 up priority, right? Do all of this. Then if you want, go to 31-4 and do that. Now, I've been recommending 31-4 a lot more these days, and the reason for that is because of how user-friendly it is. This doesn't really apply to those of you who know, so, you know, feel free to ignore this part. But the reason why 31-4 is especially significant now is because you just go to one stage and you get 3 important things taken care of in one run. Blue gems, green gems, and link levels. Now, I know that there are other stages that can prioritize certain things, and while it's good to know those things, it's also kind of a pain in the head to have to remember and keep track of which one's which is why, frankly, I don't know and I don't care about the other stages anymore. 31-4 takes care of all of it. Considering a massive overhaul to the story mode experience is coming soon, it is coming as early as Golden Week, maybe even before that, there is going to be a need to come back to the blue and green incredible gem shops in your Baba shop, which means the inventory is likely going to be restocked. If you have not already done so, you should buy all of the finite resources in here, whatever you can, with all of your blue and green gems earned. If you want to earn more, you should go to 31-4 because you will get both. One thing that is kind of dumb about this is you can exchange blue to greens, but you can't exchange green to blues, which is weird. But I suppose that means green gems are more important, and you do get more green gems per run on 31-4 than you do blue, but you still get blue. So it is important and it is necessary to get both done. They'll probably give us extra Kais, extra Zenny, other things like that. Who knows what other free units they're going to give us? Maybe Trunks and Broly gets an easy A. Who knows? There could be any number of things coming up. So it's very important to get ahead of this and just run through 31-4 as much as possible. Other than that, do whatever else you want. Oh, I should also say, this doesn't cost you stamina, but this kind of leads into what we're going to be talking about in terms of maintenance. So what can we expect from maintenance? Everything in the campaign. But before we talk about the campaign, let me just tell you, Movie Extreme Z area. This is your last chance. The Movie Extreme Z area overhaul is coming. What they're basically going to do is they're going to take this event right here, the one with the cooler. They're going to take the Android 13 event, and they're going to take the Lord Slug event. These 3 events are going to be removed from the game, crushed together, and then given back to us in the form of a Movie Edition Extreme Z area. These events will no longer exist. If you have not run through these events ever, you should do so as soon as possible. You don't have to earn all of the medals. Just run through each stage once. That way you can get the stones for completing each stage. So you're going to be getting, what, 4 stones from this total? Then you're going to get another 4 stones from the Android 13. Where did that go? Android 13 one. Yeah, right here. Of course, if you want to go further, you should. You can get some stones for it, but they're not as much. The number one priority is to just do them all once. And then, of course, do the cooler one. Cooler one has the most because it's the entire Meta Cooler army. So do all of these. Get this done pronto, ASAP. You will not be able to do this after the maintenance starts. After we come out of it, this is going to be gone, and we are going to have the movie edition Extreme Z area. So that now goes into what I wanted to talk about for the bulk of this video. What can we expect? So the sub EZA for Tapion is out, by the way. I haven't done that. I might jump on stream and do that at some point. Super Battle Road is coming. This is for storied figures. Go figure. Go figure. It makes sense, right? Considering the characters that are here. The Dragon Ball story event will be coming too. New support memory, new EZA for the SR Kid Trunks, who is obtainable from that event. This is another thing. If you haven't done this story event, run through this story event that is already available. So actually, let me go back and show you. In order to access the Portal of Memories for the Wrath of the Dragon story event, you need the green keys. These you have the most amount of. This would be available somewhere in the list. You're gonna have to scroll through and find it. And then for the Extreme Z areas, you're gonna need the black challenge keys, and you're gonna have to spend some keys here, but it's worth it because you're doing it in exchange for free stones. So absolutely do that. It is 100% worth the effort. So those two things we can expect. Let's actually go over the campaign details here. In the campaign, on top of this, which is 39 Dragon Stones for free, all these story events are going to be coming up. Actually, wait, no, they're already here. Extreme Z area is already here. Support the support units. So the 50% support stuff, we should also be getting whatever remaining assets or whatnot are needed for these. They will also be in the data download and the Extreme Z area for that. So other than that, can we expect anything else? Can we expect the possibilities of another celebration? It's possible. I wouldn't put much stock in it because we're still not out of part 1. Part 1 only started a week ago. We still have another week to go before part 2 has to happen, which means the part 2 assets don't need to be in the game just yet. Of course, they do backdate a bunch of assets and they get them in the game early, which is common practice for Global Dokkan. But if they don't do it this time, I wouldn't consider that as a disappointment. And I think people need to go into this one, especially keeping that in mind. Keep your expectations tempered. Don't expect anything out of the ordinary. It's going to be your typical normal data download with the usual stuff for global, and that's about it. Maybe they throw some stuff in there, but I wouldn't expect it because we just have more time. They have all the time in the world. They have one more week to bore us to death with this stuff, and then maybe it drops next week. Now, I will tell you, I hate saying this, but I do think we're going to be getting a world tournament. Now, here's why. I believe we are at least 2 world tournaments behind JP. I could be wrong here. The Dokkan Wiki doesn't have everything up to date, but I do know that we haven't had these EZAs yet. The Foot Kamehameha, the 1-inch punch, all this stuff. We haven't had that. We also don't have the LR Yamcha EZA, and I don't know what class of units that comes with, if that's immediately after this one or the one afterwards. So at the very least, we are 2 world tournaments behind. If we were to map out the remaining 2 world tournaments, and assuming full synchro is the worldwide download celebration, there are only 3 possible places a world tournament could occur. One would be the trap celebration between 9-year and full synchro, which in my opinion could still be a final catch-up banner, or Tanabata, or some amalgamation of all that stuff. I don't know if we would want to have world tournament in there, but it's possible. So here's one possible spot. Another possible and very likely spot is going to be the final part before the anniversary, as we typically do get. The final part before anniversaries, we do get a world tournament right before it starts. So this will probably continue into this part 2, which is the part 2 to the pre-9-year Dokkan Festival. Of course, this is another possibility, technically speaking, but since it's going to be happening here, I don't think it's going to happen here. But the other more realistic spot would be in this part 2. If part 2 were to be a filler celebration with nothing going on, basing an entire part around World Tournament is something that they've done in the past, where we had basically nothing going on except World Tournament. Yes, it's happened before. Yes, it could happen again. It's Global Dokkan, for crying out loud. They might want to give us one final global L before we jump into full synchro, because after this, it's all hands on deck. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is the final chapter in the No Man's Land arc, right? After this, it's all hands on deck for Golden Week. And then after that, nobody cares about this celebration because we're just waiting for 9-year, baby. So yeah, this is, there's a good chance we're going to get World Tournament in here. And also we could potentially get maybe some movie edition to Red Zone stuff. So I was looking through the JP content when they had their announcements, and it was actually very interesting because when they got their Super Saiyan 3 and Harudegarn Dokkan event teasers, they also got the Dragon Ball Story event teaser at the same time. Global didn't get that. But then this event did drop a week later after the celebration started. So if we look at the banner's release, December 28th, and then the actual Dragon Ball Story event dropped a week later. So while that is still kind of falling in line with Global, the other thing wasn't. Super Battle Road was announced at the same time, but that also dropped the same day, as did the movie Red Zone thing. The movie Red Zone thing, I feel like we're gonna get that, because that could be another thing that they could throw onto the part 2 to kind of give it more juice. Will they do it? I don't know, but it does make a lot of sense for this to happen during this celebration. I mean, JP got it, so what reason could there be for Global to not get it? We have to have, I believe the first 4 stages have to be on Global before we go into the 9-year anniversary's countdown. I think there's something, I don't remember, I might be misremembering things. Doesn't something come up during the anniversary countdown that has something to do with the movie Red Zone 2? I don't remember. So that's about it as far as anything extra that we can expect. I'm not going to expect a new celebration. I'm not going to expect a new unit, a new Dokkan festival. If it happens, great. I would rather be realistic with this one. Next week, if we get another maintenance, then I'm more inclined to think, okay, you know what? Something could come up. Ultimately could be for nothing, but that makes more sense to expect something new. Here, it's too early. We're still a weekend. Anyway, ramble over. I cannot wait to be told about World Tournament. The next World Tournament, so exciting. Oh, actually, one last thing, courtesy of the data miner Rick. With how Global operates, I wouldn't be surprised if exactly. Wouldn't we see another World Tournament scheduled for the 19th with this? Dragon Ball Story plus Easy Area plus Type EZAs. Did I mention that? The support EZAs? That's also going to be coming up. But they don't need maintenance for that. Oh. So they might just add next week's content plus World Tournament since they need maintenance for World Tournament. True. So, yeah, we'll see. Doesn't matter though, because nobody's getting their hopes up. Nobody. So it's not going to matter. Because right now, Global dead. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on the state of Global right now. Are you okay with things being kind of mellow right now? Honestly, I'm kind of fine with it. I think this gives people an opportunity to just relax, not spend stones, not feel tempted to spend stones. Let me know your thoughts on the state of Global right now. Is it better to have moments like this, or would you rather just be inundated with banners and new stuff that kind of tempts you with your stones? And what do you think is going to be coming up this data download tonight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let you know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.